came to hit.
Yeah.
How you been, my boy?
I've been good, man. How have you been, dog?
Been great.
You been great? Man, I missed this. The
Good.
My God podcast is back.
Feel good to be back. Back in the building. Got the video feed now at a whole new dimension.
Whole new dimension, man. We back, man. Let's fucking go, though.
Absolutely. The My Guys Pod coming to y'all live from the Thunderdome. Here to give you guys our take on fantasy sports, NFL, etc., etc. You never know. You might get some movie trivia, some anime trivia, some how we doing in our daily life trivia.
So what's trending?
What's trending?
What's trending?
That's back from the old podcast days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the
we
old
back,
episode.
though.
Had a little bit of a hiatus, you know.
Yeah.
Life took us a different way, but now we back in front of you, for the people. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Talking fantasy sports, like I said, primarily NFL. We dabble in other things, of course. But this season and this episode, we're going to get it popping off with AFC South, NFC South, giving our takes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right here in Houston. Just to give you guys a quick rundown of who we are and where we come from. My name is Jeremy Williams. I'm an ex-NFL receiver. I played for the Chargers and the Eagles, right here from Baytown, Texas. And I know a little bit about receivers in NFL.
Safe to say.
I was a football coach for a little while. And this guy right here is my best friend from childhood.
Absolutely.
Since 7th grade.
Gang, gang. It's your boy, PJ Alfred, a.k.a. P-Way55. Get at me. You know who it is, what it was. I didn't play professional football, but I have watched a ton of professional football. And I've been an advocate fantasy football player for well over a decade. Many chips between the both of us. More over here, just saying. But anyway, now it's time to parlay that expert advice to the people because up and foremost, we like to give. We want to share. We like to share our knowledge. I alluded to it a little earlier. Today, we're jumping into the AFC South, starting with the hometown team, Houston. And we'll get into the NFC South. So, without further ado, I think let's go ahead and get it popping. Houston Texans, AFC South, jump right into it.
Let's jump straight into it, man.
So, if off the top of the head, Houston Texans won the division last year, as we know, finished at 10-7. Tennessee Titans, as we know, worst in the division, 3-14. That's how you end up with the number one pick.
Yeah.
Cam Ward. But hometown team, Houston, from a fantasy standpoint, what do you like about that team?
From a fantasy standpoint, obviously, everyone's favorite is going to be Nico Collins right now, especially after the season he had last year on limited games.
Facts.
On a points per game basis, he was right at the top. So if he can stay healthy, obviously, he's going to be one of the best receivers in the league this year, fantasy-wise.
Absolutely. And then coming out of fantasy or Texans camp, literally within this week, as we're recording this, Joe Mixon noted to be out a couple weeks, so that foot injury could potentially be a little bit worse than what we thought. So
that's super unfortunate. I mean, missing the preseason is not a huge deal, as long as he's back for week one, obviously. But if you look back at a lot of Joe Mixon's stats over the past years, last year was one of his best years behind a shaky O-line. So if he can do that with them, obviously our O-line is not going to be that much better projected right now. Anything can happen.
Agreed.
Season, but.
And I know a little bit about Joe Mixon, as you can see with the Bengals gear here, quality back, and in that offensive scheme, I obviously think he'll be successful again. And then y'all added Nick Chubb in the offseason.
Yeah. So
obviously a little bit of insurance there. I'm really more interested in their wide receiver situation because obviously Nico, alpha, dog, don't have to worry about it. But are you taking any fantasy risk with the Christian Kirks, who they added in the offseason? I added two rookies, both from Arizona State, Higgins and what's the other kid? I can't think of the other kid's name. No. Are you taking any risk fantasy-wise with these players? Or is it more of a, I'm just taking Nico Collins, Mixon, Stroud, QB2?
So Nico I'm definitely fine taking in the first round.
Or second, if he falls.
Yeah, if he
Great
falls to
value.
the second, I'm definitely gonna take him, obviously. But when it comes to other receivers in the offense, Christian Kirk, I think between him and Nico, they're definitely the top two right now. Jaden Higgins is getting some camp clout right now, but I'm really not targeting those guys too much later in the draft. If I can get Christian Kirk maybe in the 11th round or 12th, I don't know, maybe.
Wide receiver 3.
I think he'll have a decent fantasy season. I really don't understand why I'm not too high on him. Maybe the guys around him I'm a little more excited about.
Stealing targets.
Yeah.
In-game targets. Now,
I mean in the fantasy draft, like around.
Actual value players that you can get with higher ups. Okay, I get that. But even to what I'm saying.
I'll take a Matthew Golden over a Christian Kirk.
I think I agree with that.
Maybe. So.
Obviously, depending on your team needs and things like that, the one thing I do feel like Christian Kirk could potentially have a huge season with C.J. Stroud, just because Nico Collins draws so much attention over there.
For sure, Christian Kirk has always been.
He's dependable.
Yeah, he's like an underdog story.
Good for third downs, things like that, and so. If the offense works out, I do think Christian Kirk could be a sneaky ad this year. But y'all did lose Tunsil, and O-line obviously is a problem in Houston.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I do think Texans are probably still the best team in this division. I don't know if I think anybody just took a giant leap.
I think they're still the best, but I think the gap is smaller.
A lot smaller. Okay, yeah. I concur with that.
I do like what the Jacksonville Jaguars did. I mean, Travis Hunter is going to be a problem.
Facts.
I like what Tennessee did. Indy is actually, if they can get anything out of Anthony Richardson, which we'll get at here in a little bit, they could be a problem too because they have pieces around them.
I agree. I mean, it's really not a lot of fantasy talk with the Texans. Unfortunately, this year, C.J. Stroud is a backup quarterback. Nobody's picking C.J. Stroud to start. I mean, I don't think you're going to be – obviously, if you're in a 14-teamer, that's a different story. But in your average 10 to 12, I don't think you're going into a season with C.J. Stroud as a starter. But you're okay if he's your QB2 in case of emergencies.
See, and the reason being is because – his ceiling isn't as high as you want it to be. No
rush attempts either.
In no rush attempts. But you got guys like Joe Burrow who doesn't really rush very often, who behind a shaky O-line. But you look at his weapons and the offensive coordinator and what it may be, you just don't see that same ceiling with C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, with the Joe Burrow comparison, they're both. It's a good stylistic play comparison.
Yeah,
but. Obviously, with the weapons that Joe Burrow has, it's a little bit not fair. And I don't know, the scheme, though, that might not just be the Texans scheme because the Texans also have a way better defense than the Cincinnati Bengals. So they don't have to throw the ball as much as Cincinnati. So situational football because of that team.
I have one more question before we jump off the Texans.
Sure.
So with Joe Mixon's injury concerns right now, like does his value drop in your fantasy grades?
Obviously, this is why we do drafts later in the season, guys. FYI, especially with the season starting, wait to the last minute or the week before so you have all the information. But depending on how serious the injury is, I mean, he has to drop around minimum. Especially, I'm already a little bit worried about Nick Chubb vulturing touchdowns anyway. But Mixon does catch the ball a little bit in this offense. But unlike last year, he has a threat behind him. Last year, you wasn't really worried about nobody coming in and taking Joe Mixon's spot.
Are you really threatened by Chubb?
If he's healthy, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because it's a 1-year contract, so it's a prove-it year for Chubb. And I think if he gets the opportunity and he's healthy, he would take the opportunity.
I guess I can see that.
Yeah. And
not
ultimately,
Chubb, though.
Yeah, I mean, and I could just be wrong. But
Mixon's tough.
But both of these backs are older. So me personally, I think DeMeco Ryans going more of a 50-50 split because the Texans are playing the long game. They know they got a shot at the division, so they know they most likely can go to the playoffs. So if you go 50-50 there, those backs are healthier come December, come January, when you really, really need them to slow the game down to control it. And that's all I'm saying. But depending on that injury. After that.
Right now, by the way, Nico Collins is the 8th ranked player in half PPR on PFF.
8th ranked player
Eighth
overall.
ranked player overall. 8th off the board.
1, 2. Is that overall?
That's overall ADP basically for our value.
7th best receiver, so that's good. That's solid. Obviously, depending on format, Nico's going to get a lot of big plays and things like that. So, you can't go wrong with picking Nico Collins. You just got to, obviously, with every player in fantasy, will he stay healthy?
Yeah.
Tennessee Titans. So we're going to go from the top of the division to the bottom of the division.
Okay.
Instantly, just like that. Personally, obviously, the big question here is what is the rookie Cam Ward going to do? That's with any team, but it's not like he has time to wait behind a veteran. Cam Ward got the position straight out of the gate. Tell me what you do like about Tennessee.
I mean, obviously, the most like is Cam Ward. The issues that Calvin Ridley had with his offense last year is that they couldn't hit him accurately downfield. He was like the most targeted receiver with uncatchable targets last year. So
that's true. I forgot. Yeah.
So
anyways, he had some wild passes.
He's obviously still a great player. He was still getting open at a high rate. I think Cam Ward is in the perfect situation, honestly. If he can actually overlap what he did in college, any measure, I think the Titans found them one, basically.
True. The thing with Tennessee, obviously, if Cam Ward comes out and has Jaden Daniels like rookie season, but he's not a rusher like that, so that's unlikely. So when it comes to fantasy implications, once again, unfortunately, similar to the Texans, with Tennessee, I don't think you have that many options outside of their wide receiver, who RB2, 3, potential 1 upside, but it's going to be lower end tier wide receiver 1 from Calvin Ridley.
Okay.
You obviously added my boy Tyler Lockett over there, which helps a little bit, but that's a late round flyer type of pick. You're not putting Lockett in any lineups confidently. The running backs, though, here, to me, that's where you get real fantasy value, potentially. RB3s,
really?
RB2s.
From Tony Pollard?
Yeah, from Tony Pollard
or
Tajay Spears. They both receiving backs. So it's not. I'm not saying these are the type of players that are going to win you a fantasy league, but these are players that you might need from a week to week time to come in and grab a few carries and things like that. And then both of them are being drafted. They're not, like I said, the first couple rounds, but these are potential players that have a lot of upside. Pollard had a real good year, obviously his last year in Dallas, and wasn't terrible last year. He got you good production. It just wasn't 10, 12 points every week.
That's true. I think this year, I'm a Tulane guy. Tajay Spears is a Tulane guy.
Gang.
That's not even front. But I do like Tajay Spears to make that leap. I'm not gonna say a Bucky Irving leap, but maybe make that leap to be the lead back more so than Tony Pollard this year.
Okay.
At some point, Tajay Spears wasn't very healthy last season. If he can be a little healthier, obviously, I think he's the better back in the long haul. If I was a fantasy drafter, I would draft Spears more so than I would Pollard.
Probably has more upside. The only reason Pollard is probably a little safer type of pick, but I completely agree with you with the Tajay Spears that he has more upside. And then you're getting Tajay Spears probably a whole round and a half later.
That is true.
Less risk and more upside potentially. You just really don't know what you're going to get from Tennessee because you just talked about it. They really only have Calvin Ridley. They don't have a wide receiver situation. Their tight end is okay.
Yeah, fantasy relevance.
Not much.
You're looking at Calvin Ridley and you're looking at Cam Ward late as a backup quarterback. If you have a Lamar Jackson or somebody who you know is going to start and you can just throw a flyer out there, say Cam Ward. He has a lot of upside. Looking at last year, the Titans were dead last in passing efficiency. They had a 57 rating. If he can be at least middle of the pack, just get up to a 75 rating, Titans will be in much better situation.
Will Levis memes did we see last year? It makes perfect sense. The Titans can do, this is another thing though, the Titans can do nothing but get better, right?
Yeah.
When you're at the bottom, there's nothing you can go but to the top. So there is that for you lowly Tennessee Titans fans. Talking to you, Uncle Red, out there, you have a little bit of hope potentially, but Cam Warren, I said I'm gonna say Moon because Warren Moon gave him that number 1. So we'll see how it works out. I'm not really taking the risk on any Titans other than Ridley. I
like
personally don't think I'm really drafting anybody other than Ridley from that team. And I mean, that's like I said, that's pretty much it. The defense, something to be desired. But with the division, potentially could have some weekly streamer plays.
Their defense is above average, I would say.
It's not something you're prying
The
on.
Titans' worst aspects last season was the passing game, and their run blocking actually was pretty bad as well, which is another reason why, Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears aren't going much higher in fantasy football drafts.
Could be problematic. With that being said, we are on to the next one. The next one on the docket, my good, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. The reason you get to Paquito, I see how I mix Spanish with British because they're always playing in London. Anyway, I didn't chop that skit up, so we'll go ahead and move on to this one. But unlike the two teams we talked about, though,
a
lot of fantasy relevance here in Jacksonville, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's, Jacksonville Jaguars offense is supposed to be good. On paper, you look at Trevor Lawrence and you see the weapons that he has.
I see 55 million.
You would think, but last year's down offensive season, ETN was a top draft pick last year. He didn't really pan out for a lot of people who drafted him.
And they finished at 4-13 last year, if I believe correctly. Yes, that's what gets you a top pick. That gives you Travis Hunter, though. So now me and you talked about this obviously a little bit the other day. Travis Hunter obviously has the potential to be the most dynamic fantasy football player we've arguably ever seen, depending on scheme and usage. And I'm serious about that.
Facts.
I thought about it more after we talked. The potential upside of this kid getting interceptions and touchdowns in a game. You could have a player, literally, this is not even a crazy stat line. 8 catches, 1 touchdown, and a pick 6. You know what I'm saying? That's not a crazy 8 catches for like 60, a touchdown, and a pick 6. Will get you a crazy fantasy upside return. And you said it the other day, if you play in the league with IDP, oh my God, you draft Travis Hunter with the number 1 pick.
Yeah, you just put him in that IDP slot, and he's racking you up wide receiver 1 numbers. Now, obviously, if anything happens to Brian Thomas, his stock goes up even higher because Trevor Lawrence has shown he can sustain a top receiver in a season.
And that's interesting that you actually say that because, too, speaking of another fantasy relevant player is Brian Thomas Jr., a dog last year. Got you over 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, I believe, as well. Going in the first round or early second round easily, and I'd be comfortable drafting Brian Thomas Jr.
He's just really explosive. And he's going. We talked about Nico Collins a little bit earlier. He's going about 2 picks before him. So
since we are in the same division, you got the 9th pick. Nico and Brian Thomas are on the board. Which way do you lean?
I will go Nico. Because
I say that because on just Fantasy Pros rankings, just a half PPR format, Nico 7, Brian Thomas 8, and that's the only reason because I think it was slightly different than where you got it ranked. So I'm just gonna throw that at you real quick.
I really believe Nico has mind control over CJ Stroud because CJ Stroud's gonna throw Nico the ball. The dude was number 1 in targets through the first 3 weeks last year. I don't see anything changing. Who's going to take targets from Nico Collins in Houston's offense? I think Travis Hunter can take some targets from Brian Thomas.
Now, that's a real good point. I forgot how much C.J. Stroud hyper-targeted Nico through the, first 6-7 games of the season?
And that's with his best friend, Tank Dell. Stephon Diggs was there. Nico still gets, the lion's share of the targets.
That's a good point. So with that being said, are you leaning Nico? Because
I'm leaning Nico right there. The only receivers I'm taking before Nico are going to be Puka,
the big 3,
Justin Jefferson, and Jamar.
Malik Neighbors?
I'll take Puka before Malik.
Okay. Well,
I do like Malik though, but that's later.
We'll get in that another episode and another show and things like that. Now, the other good thing, the other big topic with the Jacksonville Jaguars is Duval. They got a new head coach, Leo Cohen. And obviously y'all are making fun of my man from his first interview when he hit that Duval. But you got a bright offensive minded coach with a lot of young weapons. I do like both running backs over here better than I think I like these running backs the best combination, obviously, TBD, in this whole division. I like ETN, and I think Tank Bigsby the best just because they both catch the ball and they both have a good yak percentage.
Yeah. The Jacksonville Jaguars running back situation is kind of scary with Tutton.
True.
Or Tootin.
Oh, shoot.
Which one is it?
Yeah. You say Tutton, I say Tootin. That way one of us right.
Sorry.
Watch, he's going to come out, it's going to be like Tutton.
Tutton.
It's Tutton. Like Bijan. What is it? Did you see that? He had the proper pronunciation of his name the other day.
Really? It's not Bijan?
It's not Bijan.
It's Bijan.
Yeah, it's Bijan, whatever. Anyway, I'm sorry. The running backs, you were saying muddled backfield, which I agree with.
Yeah. Fantasy-wise, I've seen people say, bounce back year for ETN. I mean, ETN has the best chance to bounce back. He's going to get the first chance to bounce back. But if he has any knick-knack injuries, there's going to be chances for him to lose carries down the line because Tank Bigsby and Tutton are good players.
All right. Yeah. And you do have that possibility. And obviously, like I said, with a new head coach taking over, you don't know what his philosophies are yet. It's going to take a couple games before any type of tendency starts to take hold or anything like that.
True.
Other big thing is they lost Evan Ingram in this offense, but I know you like Strange, the backup tight end, and he did have some good games towards the end of last year, those last 4 or 5, so that was solid. Yeah. But ultimately, I think you got Travis Etienne could be an RB3, potentially RB2 for you week to week. Same thing with Bigsby. You just don't know what the usage is going to be, but I personally like Etienne a little bit more than Bigsby.
I do too.
I would take him over Pollard and Tajay Spears as well after the 2 previous running backs.
ETN, see, the crazy part about him was, I don't know, he just didn't look like himself last year. He didn't look explosive.
And his usage was weird too, but he did look off, like he didn't have that super burst. And he's in like the 4th or 5th tier. So it's not a big risk if you're going to take ETN.
That is true, yeah.
So that's the other thing.
You don't got to spend a lot on him. And honestly, these are the kind of players that you kind of want to target because the bounce back is a real thing. And you'll find that you can get players later in drafts who will give you that top 3 round return on your investment, but you're drafting them later, which is really where a lot of teams win fantasy football.
Every year it's a running back
finding those sleepers
going to 3rd or 4th round that do exactly what you said. Finishing top 1, top two backs, or not 1 or 2 backs, but finish way above 10 backs that were drafted. It happens every single year. Yeah, that's a super solid point. Obviously, Travis Hunter has the chance to absorb some of those lost Ingram targets, but they're really the only 2 receivers there that you're really worried about. Obviously, we're going to see what that role looks like with Travis Hunter. How many offensive snaps does he actually get? How much do they use him? My thing is, you took him number 4 overall.
By the way, ETN is running back 44 on PFF.
Ooh, 44.
Yeah, 44.
44 on PFF. They got him at about, I just saw his name, 30 on Fantasy Pros. But see, look, these are the running backs that he's going around. I mean,
I'm going to show this on the screen.
I like it. Hit them with our features. That's why we coming to y'all with this this camera. Now we're not just trying to show y'all these wonderful faces. We got tools on here now. Show them the tools we got.
We're going to show y'all the tools, man. This ETN right here, man, running back 44. He's projected to get 111. ADP's 115.
But some of his past, and so look, why you actually showing the stats? I'm gonna just throw out a couple players, and I'm curious if you would take Etienne over them. Caleb Johnson, the rookie from Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Etienne?
No, Caleb Johnson.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you want to say if I'm taking
the player over them? I'm Etienne. So if you want the player, just say yes. If you don't want him, no.
Okay.
Facts. Tony Pollard.
I have them like in the same category.
I mean, and they're super close.
I would say, Lord, I would take ETN over Pollard.
I think I'm in the same boat with you, but it's the same type of backfield situation where you really don't know the outcome.
That's wild.
Isaiah Pacheco, I think that one's who you got.
Pacheco,
I figured
for sure.
Brian Robinson Jr. I know you said
Tony Pollard is running back 25. Is way up there. Brian Robinson Jr. Yeah, Brian Robinson.
All right. Tyrone Tracy. That's an interesting one.
That's another interesting one. I think I would probably take ETN.
It seems like we're basically
Tracy might lose his job to Scatterbo though.
Scatterbo. I've been seeing some slow motion highlight clips of Scatterbo and Kemp, but I'm trying not to get caught by the Kemp bug.
He's the people's back.
He's the people's back.
The people's back.
The people's back. In New York? Oh boy.
The people.
I'm telling you, he about to go crazy.
But yeah, Brian Robinson, I'm taking him. Who else you got?
The only other ones I would have said were Jalen Warren, the same thing as that Caleb Johnson.
I'm not taking Warren over him.
I wouldn't either, because I think Jalen Warren is going to lose his job. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. This is not like the Tank Bigsby situation where I think it's going to be a market share of the percentage. I see Caleb Johnson taking.
You like Caleb Johnson that much?
I think he's taking the job. It's not. I just don't think. Maybe it's more of a
running back 30.
Less belief in Jalen Warren. I don't know if he's a full-time back. And the Caleb Johnson has the frame to be a full-time back in this league. I still think Warren a little gadgety.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's a good spell back. He's a good CJ Spiller. You know what I'm saying? He's a good
and sometimes you'll get a season. When I think about a situation like this, I think about Drew Brees.
Okay.
And whenever he got injured and Phillip Rivers was behind him, you know, that animosity. But then Drew Brees came back that one season and just killed it MVP season.
Okay.
It's like, same thing. Who else did that? Alex Smith with Kaepernick behind him, I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes them guys, they have that position. They're like, you know what? You're going to have to take this job. And Warren can come out and have a damn near Saquon Barkley year.
Ooh, see, now I do.
Sit down, rookie.
Now, I do think there is a situation that team is not on this episode, but we will revisit that specific scenario later that I think there's a back late rounds that I love, and the rookie's not going to take his spot.
Okay.
But I would say that wraps it up for Jacksonville. So with that, Indianapolis Colts. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, you definitely got fantasy relevance, fantasy value here. 8-9, surprisingly, last year. When I looked that up, that shocked me that they won 8 games.
The Colts?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Colts are interesting.
It's such a weird ass team.
They're interesting.
I mean, obviously, just like most teams in the NFL, it's going to come down to quarterback.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Anthony Richardson? Is it going to be Daniel Goofy Jones? The upside, the upside and hilarity from this quarterback situation, it is gonna. I mean, it's the wrong sport. It's gonna be a season long of Shaq in the fool moments from this team. Just think about it, bro. I don't have the confidence in any quarterback at this. I don't want any part of the Colts other than Jonathan Taylor. They also got that rookie Tyler Warren at tight end.
I like him.
So
I like Josh Downs too.
Yeah, who you trust to throw in the ball? Flacco's gone. So Josh Downs having those 24, 26-point weeks, Flacco's gone. Anthony Richardson's going to do that?
Anthony Richardson, he's him and Kyle Pitts. It's like all that talent, all that potential.
Kyle Pitts.
Come on, like you want to depend, you want to have faith in them. You really want to. So, I mean, you see a couple highlights coming out of camp.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson throwing a couple dots, but then you also see him throw the ball to no one. So it's like, dang, which Anthony Richardson are we going to get? And then Daniel Jones, quarterback going to a new team. You've seen it work before.
Prove it year. 13, 14 million they gave Daniel Jones. 1 year deal.
These first round quarterbacks, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield.
Always get a shot.
They're going to get a shot because they were successful somewhere. That's how they became a top pick. So maybe if you get them in the right situation, same thing they're doing with Justin Fields this year. He's got another shot.
Yeah.
So, and you never really know. Sam Darnold had a great year last year. Baker Mayfield, same thing. Will it work out?
Now,
if Daniel Jones takes over, will he become the Daniel Jones he was supposed to be?
And I got a direct question.
And he can run, which puts him in. He's like a Josh Allen.
Oh,
that's the ceiling.
Value.
That's the ceiling that you have from Daniel
Jones.
Great
value version of Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is Daniel Jones.
I do not endorse that statement.
I'm just saying he could become that. What if he becomes that?
His great value version.
He has Walmart. He has Pittman, Josh Downs. He got the tight end. He got Jonathan Taylor. Come on, you got the pieces in Indy.
And I'm getting on a rant, but I like it. So, but I love the rant, and I've been waiting. So, with that being said, granted, while recording this, we haven't even had the Hall of Fame game yet. Still in the training camp, but right now, who wins the quarterback battle? Right now,
it's Anthony Richardson's job to lose. And point blank, period.
That's not what I asked you. Who's going to win the battle?
Do you know a team has never made the playoffs starting 0-3? I believe that's the actual stat. So
Bengals were trying to break that stigma last year. We didn't do it.
Anthony Richardson, if he goes out there and he has 2 bad games and they go 0-2, but he has to have 2 bad games that are 0-2, he gets benched for Daniel Jones.
So you got Anthony Jones.
That's how short his leash is.
So you got Anthony Richardson.
Starting the season, yes.
I got Daniel Jones winning it.
Starting the season.
I'm not going to lie. I have a feeling this particular coaching staff is going to, just let the kids sit and learn how to, even though Daniel Jones is not good. I'm not saying Daniel Jones is a better player than Anthony Richardson. He's a better NFL style player than Anthony Richardson. I think they're going to start the kid off on the bench, let him learn a little bit, and it's going to go from there.
With Daniel Jones, do you trust the receivers more?
I like Pittman more. I don't like Josh Downs as much with Daniel Jones. I like Pittman more with Jones.
Because of the possession.
And I like Downs more with Richardson, but it's going to be a boomer bust week every week. Because I just think Daniel Jones is a more accurate. This is crazy to say. I think Daniel Jones is a more accurate quarterback. Yes, I did just say that sentence. Yeah. But I'm saying it against Anthony Richardson. But you just alluded to it during your rant, as you so poetically stated. Jonathan Taylor is over there. So you get to control the pace of the game somewhat. They got a great O-line in Indy. We were talking about that the other day. Top 5 offensive line, I believe, right? Top 10 or top 10. I can say that, I believe. So you got a top 10 offensive line, which gives you a chance to somewhat control the flow. It's just when you have no consistency from the quarterback position, it's tough. But they do have a good receiver room. Pittman Downs is nice. And they got a Alex. Oh, God, why am I blanking on his name?
I know you're talking about.
Why am I blanking on his name? He had like 2 games last year with like 22 points or something. Alec Pierce with a C. So you got the decent wide receiver room over there. Obviously, the good defense, because for this team in a weak division, I say it again, to finish 8-9 was surprising to me when I went back and I was just fine-tuning all the records before we got into this.
All right, Colts defense, top 9 last year.
Oh,
they were 9th place overall defense.
Okay.
What else? Let me see some more highlights for the Colts last year. They were actually pretty good overall. They weren't the best at tackling, but let me see. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at here.
And the thing with the Colts, again, like most teams in this division, they have potentially 3 fantasy relevant players, maybe 4. You're really not drafting any of these quarterbacks. You know that from experience. I doubt you drafted Anthony Richardson this year. But clearly you're happy clearly if you got Jonathan Taylor on your roster, you're happy leaving that draft. Michael Pittman is wide receiver 3. You don't hate that, wide receiver 3 flex. You don't hate that.
Michael Pittman? You cool with Michael Pittman as a flex?
I don't hate it because he's still gonna. Like I said, he's a big body receiver. Yeah. So when you have a down year, and when you have an inaccurate quarterback, they tend to throw it to the big guy, and that's what I'm basing that off. And I know him and Downs are fairly close to each other as far as ADP, right?
Fairly close. I do believe Downs goes a little bit before him.
Okay. Let me see.
And looking at their receiver grades, y'all can see here, Josh Downs, his grades are just so much better than Pittman's.
So this is just our fantasy pros. It's not.
But they're right about the same 44 targets last year. but 2 less games for downs.
44 and 46. That's where they ranked. Like I said, the only reason I'm leaning Pittman, big body receiver, 2 quarterbacks that are not accurate. I mean, just go back to thinking when you was in school. You just threw it to the big kid, like, he go get it. I hope he catch it. And that's what I just think you might potentially get a lot of.
So, yeah. I think personally, if I'm drafting any receiver from this, I've got to go with Downs. Like I said, he had 5 touchdowns last year, 803 yards, 72 receptions, and 2 less games than Pittman.
He led in yards and receptions?
Yards led actually was Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce led with 824 yards.
But he had the most touchdowns.
And he had the most touchdowns.
Alec Pierce?
Yes.
Oh, wow. See, look.
7 touchdowns.
He's
kind of a gadget player. He was taking a lot of...
But also, that's also with Joe Flacco as a quarterback. Who is
and
now
he only
Cleveland.
had 37 receptions.
So, exactly.
So it was
a bunch
of... had a damn good year.
It was a bunch of big play opportunities in the right situation. He did have that, I know, like at least 2 Hail Marys that he called from Anthony Richardson throwing to Lord knows who. I just don't like the inaccuracy of the quarterback, no stability. I'd rather take my risk with somebody like a C.J. Stroud, even Trevor Lawrence. I think this is a huge year for Trevor Lawrence. And it's just not a lot with the Colts.
Okay.
You're not actively going into your fantasy draft saying, other than Jonathan Taylor, I want somebody from that team.
No, you're not super high on the Colts offense, which after we sat here and talked about it, they actually have some potential to be good, depending on the quarterback situation. So
scary though. It's just so scary.
Jonathan Taylor's gonna give you what he's gonna give you. So he's gonna be, I would say, a safe second round pick. Oh,
I'm super happy.
You're gonna get a lot of carries from him, a lot of big good games. You're gonna get some duds, but it all depends. Like I said, if their offense is rolling, it's gonna be a big part. Jonathan Taylor's gonna be a big part of it. The reason why they're good, if they are.
With that being said, we started the segment saying the Texans won the division last year, 10-7. I'm not going to ask for records or anything like that. Who do you have winning the division? And how do you have the division? How do you have it finishing?
I like the Texans to win the division again.
I concur.
With the O-line situation, I'm not going to just say we're going to just go crazy, 13-4 or whatever. But I do think we still have a stronghold because of our defense, because of C.J. Stroud, because of the continuity of D'Amico Ryans and C.J. Stroud together. 2 years back-to-back division winners and playoffs together. So, I mean, behind them, I like the Jaguars.
We are 2 for 2. I'm the exact
Jaguars behind them.
I think the one, not to just cut you off, I think there's a stark difference in the Jags this year. I don't know if I'm getting set up by fucking Trevor Lawrence again, but I think this is the year they get it. They might have the right coach over there. I think the culture is about to change, and that's my surprise team to win the division.
Okay.
I'm still picking the Texans, but if it's Jags-Texans, I'm not going to be surprised.
If somebody said the Texans not winning the division this year, you would be like, okay, the Jags won.
Jags won.
Yeah.
After that, I got Colts, Titans last. You got about the same, or you got Titans over the Colts? Even though I said all that about the quarterback situation, Tennessee's just a worse team. They're not good yet. Tennessee is going to take some time. You guys put some players, and they just cut. We didn't even talk about this. They just cut Traylon Burks.
Yeah.
After that's the A.J. Brown. That's what they gave up for A.J. Brown. Gone.
Yeah. Crazy.
Hi, Felicia. So,
it's crazy.
A lot of this division isn't that exciting. I know this is your hometown division, but it's just they got a couple fantasy players in there. I'll be excited when they start playing football.
I think the Titans might bounce back more than you may think. For some reason, I get a good feeling from Cam Warner. I feel like he's more NFL ready than most may think. I was just looking at a fellow number 1 overall pick, Bryce Young's season last year, and he started off terrible.
Wasn't great.
But towards the end of the year, he had a couple good games in there, and especially those last 3 games of the season, he played well enough for them to win. They won 2 out of the last 3. So
I believe Bryce Arrow, which we'll cover, coming up soon.
Cam Ward could do some things, so.
And we can actually, you want to transition a little bit into the NFC South?
Go to some NFC?
Music, boy.
Southside.
Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and hit that. Wicked. You want to start in the NO?
New Orleans?
Yeah, so AFC South, we just finished that. We went around, bounced around, talked about what we talked. So for the NFC South, we had Tampa Bay finishing at 10-7, won the division.
Okay.
And the worst team was the New Orleans Saints at 5-12. I mean, they did share that record with another team. How do you feel about the New Orleans Saints under new coach Kellen Moore?
The New Orleans Saints, by the way, shout out Tulane, shout out New Orleans. I went to college there.
Gang.
So it's almost like I'm kind of a Saints fan, if that makes sense.
By proxy?
By proxy. So let's just say I fuck with the Saints. But first of all, fantasy relevance. You got Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed.
I'm about to hit you with one that I bet you didn't even know.
Who?
Did you know Brandon Cooks is back with the Saints?
Oh my God.
Bro, look, what did you just say? Look, what I wrote down. Oh my God, Brandon Cooks. That's literally what I wrote down when I seen his name.
Yo, that's good for him. I mean, he might.
How's he still in the league?
He might get a little bit of that.
Bro, and
coming back.
He might get you 1,000. He good for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
not drafting him, but
you know, the Saints are kind of rebuilding. Some people think they're.
Did you say kinda?
They're definitely rebuilding.
Facts.
Some people think they're tanking to get Arch Manning, but I mean, not much there. I mean, they started off 3-0 last year, so everybody kind of thought they were going to just
forgot about that.
The shit, and then they went straight into the injury bug.
Didn't they put like 42 on Dallas or something in that?
Yeah.
I forgot about that. The Saints
offense was crazy. I had Alvin Kamara, so I was like enjoying it. Alvin Kamara, I think, is just a good player. I think he's going to give you what he's going to give you. He's such a receiving threat. He's still dynamic. He's still elusive. I know he's getting older. People are quick to bounce off older running backs, but I mean,
he's 30. Yeah. That's the biggest question. Well, two. But I was a previous owner. I had Alvin Kamara in the league last year. Super reliable, but his passing game work was outrageous last year. So, you know, the amount of actual passes that he got was ridiculous. That's the only thing that kept his fantasy relevance last year was his passing game work.
He's basically a receiver.
100%.
Yeah.
I see it happening again.
Yeah.
I mean, we just named a few names, obviously. Excuse me, y'all. We had the Chris Olave, obviously the injury scare with him. One more concussion, that kid might have to retire. Rashid Shaheed and Brandon Cooks. So obviously those two names are going to take away a little bit from, I believe, the Kamara targets, especially Cooks. But the biggest question mark is the rookie quarterback. I mean, yeah. What are you going to? It's the same as Cam Ward.
They're pretty high on him.
He's in a better situation than Cam Ward, obviously. I would say.
Why would you say that?
Better running back. I'd say the Saints have a better defense, established defense. So you might not be asked to score as many points and things like that. But I'd say his weapons are better. I think I'd rather have Olave, Shaheed, Cooks, and Calvin Ridley and Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
You know?
I can agree with that.
Yeah. So I'd say he's in a slightly better situation. He has an offensive-minded head coach in Kellen Moore, the former OC from the Cowboys. Who was it? I mean, I think he was their OC and acting head coach last year, or interim head coach last year as well.
Yeah.
You got upside with the Saints. Like, I'm not mad if I leave a draft with Alvin Kamara. I'm not happy if I got Chris Olave, but I'm not mad either. You know what I mean? Depends on where I get him at.
Chris Olave is a dynamic talent, and he's a good receiver. Obviously, the injury scares are a thing, but you got to think about it. The Saints are gonna be behind. I would assume in most games they're not favorited, so that means they're gonna throw the ball. And Chris Olave is, you know, the number one receiver on this team. I think he's fallen in a lot of drafts because of that, but he's one of those candidates we were talking about earlier that could have a down year and be a player that propels you into the fantasy playoffs at the end of the year because of his bounce back season, you know?
And then, you just made a very good point to me with they might be losing a lot of games. So
they may be behind, yeah.
With that being said, that means you have to throw the pill a lot. So
Tampa Bay.
Garbage time points are huge. I mean, I remember one year I was rocking with Detroit and just banking on garbage time points. And he is a hyper-targeted receiver. So you could see the upside. The only problem with me, with Chris Olave, is his draft capital for where he is.
You think he's too high?
Well, yes. For the receivers that are around him in that tier, he's in that like 5th or 6th tier, depending on your own rankings. But he's going around George Pickens. I'm not taking him over Pickens. Travis Hunter, Jalen Waddle, a kid that we're going to talk about later, your boy McMillan from Carolina. He's in that range. The Jerry Jeudy, Jordan at Rome. I don't know if I'm scared because of the injuries. I'm more scared because of the quarterback.
So where does Fantasy Pros have him ranked?
Fantasy Pros has Olave at 32.
At 32?
Yes.
You want to know where PFF has him ranked?
Where does PFF have him?
27.
I mean, they're not
receiver 27.
Yeah, they're not too far off. They're clearly a little
above.
higher.
They have on PFF. They have him above Cortland Sutton.
There's no way I'm taking him over Cortland Sutton. I mean, no way.
They have him above Jordan Addison.
That one's more debatable. Mm-hmm. I think I'm more in line with the Fantasy Pros rankings. Theirs are closer to my own rankings than the PFF. The fact that he's over Cortland Sutton is ridiculous to me. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Who just got paid, by the way. Mm-hmm. There's no way.
He did just get paid.
Yeah, there's no way I'm taking Chris.
Let me hold something, Cortland.
You know what I'm saying? But Ohio State receiver, solid. If he's healthy,
pedigree.
You get something from the quarterback. You just don't know how much they're going to score because it's a brand new situation. You got a lot of question marks about these offenses, but
yeah, I need to go watch some Tyler Shaw film. Shaw.
And I'm not mad if I leave a draft with Olave, AK on the team. It's just AK is more of the risk. I'll take the risk with him. Olave, I'd rather wait to see where he falls. You get where I'm, you know what I'm saying?
You're not as high on him. You're not gonna jump out the woods to grab him.
Yeah. Like
if
DK,
he just falls to you, you'd be like, ah.
Yeah, DK Sutton.
Come on.
Yeah, facts. Is that it for the Saints?
I like Olave. Like I said, Kamara and Olave. Olave is kind of if I can get him as a wide receiver 3, I'm taking it all day.
Now, love that though. If you get him as a wide receiver 3. Mm-hmm. Now, on the flip side of that, let's say you got Olave, because I want to see actually what running backs are potentially going around at the same time with Olave. I'm just kind of curious. Obviously, this is all contingent on how your draft has been going. Yeah, but I do want to throw. I knew was his name going to be there. His name is there because I know you like this player, Omarion Hampton. Oh, no, I lied. He's way higher. I'm sorry. He's way higher. RJ Harvey or Chris Olave.
Harvey.
Tony Pollard, who we just talked about.
Chris Olave.
Pacheco.
Chris Olave.
Caleb Johnson.
Depends.
I know, like I said, this is a very hard what-if question.
Like wide receiver 3 or running back 3?
Here with these potential, if you went, so this is 4th, 5th, this is 5th, 6th round. I mean, it just, like I said, depends on obviously where you're going with your team and what type of foundation you want.
I think Olave has more draft value.
With the
I'll
players,
take him higher.
I think Olave is a better pick right there. With the exception, like I said, to me, Calvin Ridley, George Pickens, Travis Hunter, those players I just have higher, rated way higher. Jerry Jeudy.
Wide receiver 1 over Olave, who's also a wide receiver 1.
Yeah. Because both in shaky quarterback situations, but both the alpha dog. I think that's a real good comp.
That's a real good comp.
Which one do you like more there?
That's a real good comp.
Because I think I lean Jeudy, if I'm being honest. Because you know why? Joe motherfucking Flacco. That's why.
Flacco, you crazy?
Goddamn right, boy. Look, man, Joe, 47 years old. He gonna go out there and throw that pill. He gonna sit there pocket.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. That one's a lot harder or easier as far as comparison with the player.
The Browns have a much better defense.
Yeah.
Which could keep games
closer.
Low.
Less opportunities, you're saying?
See, now I'm over here trying to Yoda thing.
Oh, I like that, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Olave.
Olave?
I think I'll take Olave. It's just something about the comeback story. I like a player to bounce back, and people are like, man, how you know he's gonna do that?
Well, in a couple weeks, whenever we deep diving into Cleveland, and I'm looking at whoever Cleveland's wide receiver 2 is, which is just eluding me right now, because it's not crowded.
Cedric Tillman or something.
That's what I'm saying. It's not crowded in New Orleans, but it's a little crowded with Shaheed and Cooks, to whereas Judy
is the unquestioned.
Back to your, I'm literally just ping-ponging your great shit from earlier. No, hyper-targeted like Nico. Yeah. I think Judy's going to be in a situation where he could be hyper-targeted.
Which in a sense makes his ceiling higher.
Agreed.
In the long run. All right.
We're going to go down to Trapville, Atlanta, Georgia. What it do?
Oh my God, I love the Falcons.
Bulldogging like them Georgetown.
I love the Falcons offense. Everything about the Falcons is pointing upwards for me.
Okay, talk to me.
I just, they have all the pieces set.
Mm-hmm.
They got the running back, they got the receivers, they got the tight end, they got the O-line, they got the head coach. So. I don't know. I like the Falcons. I think the offense is going to go up this year, and I'm definitely trying to get Bijan. I'm trying to get Drake London on my team. Darnell Mooney, another Tulane guy.
Mooney a Tulane guy? Hey, y'all motherfuckers out there.
You know what I'm saying?
This was not intentional, by the way. It just so happened that all these motherfuckers in the show today with the Tulane. Like,
you know what I mean?
P-Wave, shout out to Green Wave, man. Shit.
Good wide receiver, too.
Not very good wide receiver too.
But
had more than flashes in the pan last season.
I'm even in on Penix. I think Penix could be a fantasy value at some point.
I like Penix, the guy, and loved when they picked him.
Mm-hmm.
He very CJ Stroud-esque.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He very CJ Stroud-esque. He not fit to go out there and run like Allen and Lamar.
In order for him to be fantasy relevant, he needs to have 40+ touchdown passes.
Oh, that shit not fit to happen this year. I don't see 40. I on the upside 25 to 35.
Jared
if he's lucky,
or something like that.
Yeah, not yet. I do, like I said, I like Pickens the player. Super late round flyer. If I'm in a quarterback purgatory hell, yeah, I'll take Penix. I'm not. Yeah. There's a lot of other QB2s that I like for fantasy purpose above Penix. But, I mean, you said it. They got, if not the number one, a top 3, without a doubt, running back in the league, involved in the passing game, going to run touchdowns. We were talking about stats the other day. The opportunities that Bijan does, or what he does with his opportunities, rather, I should say, is next level. And shit, I was watching the top 100. Saquon even said best cuts in the league.
Yeah. It's just getting better.
I'm not mad if you take Bijan number 1 overall in your fantasy draft. I'm not mad at you at all.
Yeah.
It's a couple players that I would say, what the hell you doing? Bijan is not one of them.
Yeah. And like I said, we were looking at it the other day. O-line is in the top 10.
I think top 5 you said. I think you said top 5 actually.
Falcons.
Yeah.
Looking at, let me switch the screen on for y'all. But looking at the top statistics for offense, and you always see the Falcons, overall grade last year, 88.3. Passing, the Falcons top 10, number 9 last year. Pass blocking, you see the Falcons again, they're top 8. Receiving, top 4.
Damn.
Running, obviously they're top 2 there, and then run blocking, they were the number 1 run blocking team offense last year. So, there may be a little regression, but even a little regression is still really good overall for a team that is young. Penix is he's an older.
Well, he's an older quarterback, but still young.
Bijan's one of the youngest running backs in the league. Drake London's young. What is he, 3rd year, 4th year?
Yeah.
So Darnell Mooney's not that old,
But unlike the AFC South, the NFC South has tons of players that we like. Like we already said a couple on the Saints. Here, you love Bijan. If wherever you get him, you're happy. Like I said, it don't matter. Wherever you get him, you're happy. Drake London is a top 10 wide receiver, top 7 actually. Top 10, number 9 in that range. So you're not mad if you get him. The big fucking question mark here. Well, I don't know why you ain't egged me on out of it yet. It's goddamn me, Kyle Pitts.
Yeah,
I like you as a person. If you ever, something about the strange way of God, see this video, KP. I like you. You seem cool. I fuck with you, bro. But God damn, if you ain't killed me in fantasy these last couple of years, cuz I can't do it no more. Oh, we didn't even say this. The Falcons did finish 8-9, second place in this division because Kirk Cousins was balling out before he got hurt a little bit, and they actually made the transition. I don't know if y'all watch quarterback, but damn, that was hard to watch. If you haven't watched quarterback on Netflix, check that out because you actually see the transition from Kirk to Penix.
Kirk struggles.
But they even added DJ Chark to this receiving core. Okay. So nice receiving core, a lot of good weapons, some fantasy relevance here in Atlanta. I'm not picking Kyle Pitts. Y'all can pick Kyle Pitts. I ain't got nothing to say about Kyle Pitts. Let me stop before all right.
Yeah. He's one of those players.
I can't. I don't even want to do it. Now, this next team you talked about a little bit earlier with the quarterback and the way he finished. So I'll let you jump right into the top where we go with the Carolina Panthers. Finished at the worst or tied for the worst record in the division, 5-12. Bryce Young. But I know there's some spots here on this team that you really like. So
okay. I was just looking at this team a little bit earlier today. Like I said, they started off the season last year with the rookie Bryce Young. I think Andy Dalton was supposed to start, but he got hurt or something.
They had like a back and forth deal, like where Bryce opened, then they benched Bryce, then Andy came in, and he's like, all right, Andy, we think you good. Well, we think Bryce ready, and then they brought Bryce back. That shit was weird as hell. Yeah, it was very weird.
Andy never got hurt. They just didn't know what the hell they wanted.
Yeah, I can't honestly. It's the Carolina Panthers, so it's honestly blanking me a little bit. But they did a ping pong thing where it was like a back and forth, and I know Bryce didn't have a lot of yards. He finished with under 3,000 yards passing last year, but they added stuff to get to help improve that. Obviously, they already had that boy Leggett. You know, he had that boy Leggett down there. He got old man Adam Thielen. Him and his old ass killing. But they added the receiver who I know you love.
Yes.
So
T-Mac.
Talk to me about him.
So before I get into T-Mac, I gotta kind of build it up because so I can make sure y'all understand what I'm getting at.
Shit.
So Bryce Young, he started off the season playing terrible. He was playing at a level that the Panthers just could not win. The Panthers team is actually decent. Where their defense is not the worst. Their run blocking was decent. Their pass blocking was decent. Bryce Young was just not playing at a level for them to win. And for that reason, he ended up getting benched. Andy Dalton came in and played better. When Andy Dalton stacked up to Bryce Young last year, was the better quarterback.
I agree
by the numbers. Whenever the first game Andy Dalton started, they actually won the game. So obviously that kind of hurts.
Let's just start there. They won.
I think he started off 0-3, and then Andy Dalton came in the fourth game and won. So they went 1-3.
Goodness.
But nonetheless, throughout the season, as the season ended, Bryce Young had gotten considerably better consistently better. Yes,
you could tell too. He looked more comfortable.
Towards the end of the season, the Panthers were a team that nobody wanted to see because they were beating good teams. They actually beat the Buccaneers the last week of the season to keep them from.
They almost messed up their playoffs.
Yeah, they tried to actually, and they beat them. They played. So that's the level that Bryce Young was playing at the end of the season. So I said that to say this. They drafted a receiver in the first round that I think is the real deal. Been watching film on him. He's an older guy coming out of college, which I think helps him
more experience,
be more
polished,
league ready, and he looks the part. I mean, with Bryce Young playing better. And with his skill set coming in, I think he can be a huge fantasy player this season.
And he's a lot bigger than I thought. When I actually, you've been talking about him so much in the offseason, I went, deep dive this tape, 6'5". Yeah. The funny thing I have in my head is like, Bryce Young, like 5'6". and him just like sitting back looking like Pablo from Backyard Football and just chunking it up. I don't know why that popped in my head, but
Backyard Football.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. But at least with this particular team, once again, at least for this squad, not a super ton of fantasy relevance. I don't think anyone's actively going into a league trying to draft Bryce Young, but you do have Chuba Hubbard. And with Chuba, dog, made all the most of his opportunities that he got last year. I had Chuba in that breakout year. So Chuba had a lot of good touchdowns, a lot of good touches. He was involved in the passing game with screens. So you like the involvement that Chuba got in the offense. And with the value with Chuba, he's going in that second, third round in that tier. So you like the value that you get there, and the receiver, the rookie, is actually even more highly rated. He's actually a top 15 rated wide receiver right now. McMillan.
I thought we were talking about a rookie running back. They didn't get a rookie running back.
No, they added Rico Dowell though. They did add Rico Dowell, who obviously you're going to get some third down work. I'm not worried about
running back.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about Rico vulturing touchdowns from Chuba. He's going to get a couple, but it's not a situation Jalen Hurts taken from Saquon. Like they're not actively bringing Rico in.
Can you unplug my?
We're recording, Bubba.
Can you plug my?
We're recording.
We live. And
Daddy, I want to tell you something.
Can you?
This is the best part about being live on the show right now.
Can we? Can it wait? Can I get to you in like a few minutes?
Give us like 15 minutes. We're gonna come holler at you. All right, nephew.
Can you unplug my TV to my
Xbox?
Yes, sir. I can.
Give me that.
Okay, he just stole your soda.
Stole my soda. But look, that's nephew. That's love.
That's my son. Okay.
That's how we do it. Live, uncut, raw. Because that's what we're about. We love our kids. And having my little nephew in part of the show basically tell him, I don't give a damn what y'all doing.
Yes.
I need you to come here and get this Xbox going and get it right. But luckily for him, we were actually, I say, pretty much wrapped with Tampa Bay. Obviously, you taking Chuba Hubbard, you taking McMillan.
That's Tampa Bay, Carolina.
Yeah, thank you. You taking Chuba Hubbard, McMillan.
Chuba.
That's it.
I think Bryce Young has potential to be a valid.
What, super late round? I mean, what, backup quarterback?
You think he can be top 15?
Yeah, but the only thing is, look.
You really got to be top 12, huh?
Yeah, if he's not top 12, I'm not saying I don't care. This is a spot field type of person. If you like the matchup and you see things are going, it could be a potentially good waiver wire pickup, and you just throw him in at the right spot. But you're not actively drafting Bryce Young. You're actively drafting Chuba Hubbard. You're actively drafting McMillan. Leggett, super question mark. Super question mark. I take Leggett over Thielen just because of the age, if I'm being honest, and I think Leggett's a bigger red zone threat.
Thielen just somehow always finds a way, bro.
The thing with Thielen, though, you're going to have to play him on the right week. Yeah. Hopefully you guess right. You know what I'm saying? He's going to score 27 points one week, and you're going to be pissed. Because it's going to be the week after you dropped him and didn't play him. And you know what I'm saying? And that's when it's going to hit.
I like the Panthers, though. I think Panthers are a better team this year.
You like the Panthers jerseys. Last team on the docket, before we wrap it up, the division winners, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Finished the division at 10-7, made a splash in the playoffs against the Eagles. Just so happened, to run into the future Super Bowl champs and got bounced. But a lot of players we like over here. A lot of fantasy draftable, a lot of fantasy relevant players that you particularly like. You see him cheesing, you can see him smiling now. We ain't even talked about it yet.
I like the Bucks.
I like Baker. You like Bucky. Talk about your boy Bucky, because I know you're higher on Bucky.
I like Baker too.
But that's true.
I'm higher on Bucky than you are.
You're higher on Bucky than I am. So convince me, I guess, on why Bucky Irvin is the 5th ranked fantasy running back?
Bucky checks all the boxes. He was a rookie last year. He ended up taking over the backfield. He became an every week starter for you, giving you at least 12 to 15 points. I think this year he's gonna have.
Can I need to play with a bass and he says have his mouth come out of the shower.
Go ask mommy, son. Give me a minute.
Gang.
I don't know how to. I know.
You gotta ask her, son. He is not.
It's cool. I'm not. You can have my soda, bro.
What was it? Where was I?
Bucky Irving.
Bucky Irving.
You're trying to convince me on why I should take Bucky Irving over Josh Jacobs.
Yeah. So Bucky Irving.
I told you. I don't know.
Steph.
And this is the best part about
Yeah.
doing a live podcast is life don't give a damn if you're trying to do a fantasy football podcast.
Y'all, Bucky Irving is great at receiving as well.
Killed receiving.
I think this year he's going to be top 5 for sure. He has so much value.
Finish.
I think first of all, the Buccaneers offense is going to be really good. Bucky Irving will be 70% easily control that backfield carries and receptions. Buka's been getting a lot of hype.
Bucky did have 1,100 rush yards. I didn't know he had 1,100 last year.
I don't really see Rachaad White as a challenge to him anymore.
See, I think Rachaad White vultures red zone opportunities for Bucky because don't forget, just a year ago, Rachaad White, even 2 years removed, was a top 10, top 15 fantasy running back. It's not like he just to disappear. You also have an old, stubborn head coach in Todd Bowles who likes to show respect to players. I just think Bucky Irving, I'm not worried about who's going to be the number one. I'm worried about Rachaad White vulturing red zone touchdowns, red zone opportunities, because Bucky is a smaller back as well, where Rachaad White, he's bigger. You don't really have to change a lot with your offensive scheme when you interchange them. And that's the only thing with me particularly with Bucky. You just talked about him just now. That rookie Mbuka, oh my God. I'm really high on him, especially with the Godwin situation, a little bit up in the wind. They did just announce he might be out a little bit longer than anticipated.
Yeah.
So
he's not practicing right now, obviously.
And if that kid gets off to a good start, it could be a big season because Baker moves the ball around.
Yes, and like I said, he's getting camp hype already. He's building that rapport with Baker. He has the talent, obviously, first round pick. But is he the first receiver you're taking out of this group? Are you taking Mike Evans over him? For sure, right?
Oh, I'm definitely taking Mike Evans over him. The ADP of Mike Williams, who just retired, by the way, of Mike Evans. I mean, I like the spot. The thing with Mike Evans is he's the most disrespected wide receiver in NFL history. For sure, he's going to get 1,000 yards. I mean, you saw that last year, literally evident. The motherfuckers literally took a chance at not making the playoffs to get him 1,000 yards. I mean, granted, it wasn't much, but it's still, what if could have happened.
True.
Mike Evans always has great value. It's just where he's going. I don't know if I'm so big on upside with fantasy players. So he's going around that Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Marvin Harrison Jr., even DJ Moore. Like that's his bundle.
Interesting.
DJ Moore is probably where I cut it off. I take Mike Evans over DJ Moore. I don't think I'm taking him over Marv. I'm not taking him over Devontae, even though Devontae is the wide receiver too. It's Matt Stafford.
Yeah, it's like a 1A, 1B.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm not taking him over Garrett Wilson. No shade to Mike. I think Mike will have another good year, but he's a little bit older. He has so many games where you look at your phone, you look at your app, and they say Mike Evans, 4.2 points.
Yeah.
Mike Evans, 7.3 points.
Now, I love that you say that because I feel like, honestly, that's the old Mike Evans.
Okay.
I feel like this offense has changed, especially now that you have Baker and they're on the up and up. Mike Evans has been a lot more consistent as of late.
That's true.
And I felt like I also used to have that same knock on him. Is that, 4-point games, 3-point games, and then he'll bust a 20-point game. But he's been a lot more consistent. This offense kind of flows through him sometimes, it seems. So I don't know. I like Mike Evans a little more than I have in the past, for sure.
And I mean, he's a safe pick though. So you know what I mean?
He's a safe wide receiver.
He's arguably
he's a wide receiver one.
Yeah, and no shade to Jefferson, Chase, but I'm not talking about the big dogs. But as far as value, Mike Evans might be the safest pick you can make in fantasy football. You know what I'm saying? Like he's super safe. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel like you're taking a lot of risk.
He's always healthy. I mean, knock on wood.
I mean, he missed a couple games. He missed like 2 games last year, but he still got to 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was forced or anything like that. I mean, look, I respect the Baker and the team for looking out for Mike Williams to keep the record. And Also, side note, if he gets the 1,000 yards this season, he breaks Jerry Rice's record. Let me repeat that for y'all who are paying attention. If he gets 1,000 yards again, he breaks the GOAT Jerry Rice's record for most consecutive 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah, that's fire too.
I also like, before we actually move on and end the show with this particular team, Tampa Bay, I like Rachaad White's value. I know you think I'm a little off because you're higher on Bucky Irving, but the fact for me, and I still think he has a bigger role than most people think, apparently. I mean, tier 6. I mean, he's like the 40th plus rated over running back. He's in that Tajay Spears who we talked about earlier, Cam Skeety Bo, Tracy. You know what I'm saying? I think, and I could be the delusional one.
I mean,
it could.
I'm not drafting him. But running back, draft, like you brought up a good point the other day. If I draft Bucky Irving,
handcuff
early, second round,
handcuff,
then yeah, you definitely want to. If he's your first running back that you have on your team, you need a handcuff for your top player like that. So I wouldn't mind drafting Rachaad White in that situation. But if I don't have Bucky, I'm not drafting Rachaad White.
That's safe to say. That's safe to say.
Yeah. So that's our rundown. AFC South, NFC South.
That about does it.
Yeah.
I mean, that wraps it up. First show in the books. What a way to end it. I mean, that alone, clip of few, could make us just take off out of jump. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for pulling up. More to coming. Stay tuned. It's going to be a fun season. Next couple weeks, we're going to finish breaking down the rest of the NFL league. Obviously, we got the East, the East, the West, and the North. Both divisions respectfully before we get into our fantasy outlook, NFL predictions, and things like that.
Man. Hopefully we gave y'all a little more insight. Lock in, man. We want y'all to win y'all fantasy leagues. Give y'all all the tea.
For all the people in our leagues, we're lying. Do not listen to us. Everybody else.
Don't. We're just kidding.
LOL.
All right, y'all. Peace, man.
12.